Hello and welcome to the Central Florida Consortium of Private School Counselors College Fair. We're so excited to have you participating in this event. We have some fantastic schools here with us today. Each will have 6 minutes to share more about their institution, but we'll be around for the entire session to answer any questions. My name is Jenny and I will be your facilitator. Before we get started, I have a few housekeeping items. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. This is just one of many different sessions happening, so be sure to check out the schedule on the website. This presentation is being recorded and will be available at strivescan.com/centralflorida. I'd now like to turn it over to our first presenter, the Catholic University of America.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Marilina Mata. I'm Associate Dean of Admission at Catholic University in DC. We are a small to medium-sized university. We have close to 3,000 students total. We are the national university for the Catholic Church in the US. 80% of our students are Catholic, 27% diversity rate, and classes are small. You get to know professors by name. You establish those relationships, which might come in handy later when you're applying for grad school. You can write letters of recommendation or so on. We have the largest campus, largest in size of all the DC universities. We are a Division III school. We are the CUA Cardinals, 25 varsity sports. We have 9 club sports, 16 intramural leagues, and 2 fitness centers. We are in the landmark conference, except for rowing, which is MARC, Mid-Atlantic Rowing Conference. And if you like to serve, we have between 40 and 50 different opportunities to serve every week. Anything from feeding the homeless, tutoring inner city kids. And we are a residential campus. Most of our students actually live on campus, so there's always something to do on campus. Then again, the city is also your campus. We have a metro stop at the school. We are in the Red Line. Those of you who have been to DC, our metro stop is called Brooklyn CUA, 3 stops away by metro to Capitol Hill, Union Station, Library of Congress, Senate, Congress, which will come in really handy when you're doing your political science internships. Talking about internships, this is an amazing place for internships. There's over 3,000 internship opportunities. We also have special political science internships abroad, Brussels European Community, London British Parliament, and Brussels, London, and Dublin. Some examples of places where our students have interned are here, DC United, Smithsonian, White House. We combined a few years ago the Office of Advising and Career Services. So it's kind of like a one-stop shop where you go to talk with your advisors. And then when you're close to graduation, you can talk about internship opportunities, career fairs, or so on. We have 12 schools. Of those, 9 are undergrads. The largest school is the School of Arts and Sciences. If you're not sure what you want to study, you will apply exploratory to the School of Arts and Sciences. Having said that, politics is the most popular major out of all the majors at the university. Of course, given our DC location, other popular majors, biology, education, psychology. We have 2 types of psychology, BA and a BS, Psychological and Brain Sciences. We have a School of Architecture and Planning. We have a 5-year dual degree, engineering and architecture and civil engineering. We also offer for students interested in architecture, something called IPAL, Integrated Path for Architecture License, where you get your architecture license in half the time. So instead of 12 years, you get your architecture license in 6 years. You do not require a portfolio when you apply as a freshman. The Bush School of Business is the 2nd largest and fastest growing school at the university. We offer anything from accounting, finance, marketing, sports management. We have a School of Engineering, Mechanical, Civil, Biomedical, Electrical, Benjamin Rome School of Music, Drama, and Art. We have a few major productions every year. And for the BM, you will be required an audition. And I want to highlight that even for students who like to perform, like music, you don't have to major in music to be active in the School of Music. So that's something good for someone who is interested in music, not as a career, but more as perhaps a hobby. The Conway School of Nursing, one of our most competitive schools. We have the Conway Scholars. We offer a few full tuition scholarships with room and board. And we're also building a brand new Nursing and Sciences building to be completed in 2024. And a few smaller schools, Philosophy, Social Service, and Theology. How do you get into Catholic? So I gave you a little background about the university. We recalculate everyone's GPA on a 4.0 scale. We also look at rigor. So that means we want to see if you challenge yourself in classes. We are in the Common App exclusive, test blind, and our application is free. We have a few scholarships. You do not have to apply for the scholarships. Everyone's automatically considered. They range between $15,000 up to $32,000 per year. That will be for students in the honors program. We have the parish scholarship. If you belong to a Catholic parish in the US, you apply for this one in the Common App, and $1,000 legacy grant if you have parents, siblings, or grandparents who graduated from the university. And if you want to follow us, we're in social media, hashtag CUA admission. Thank you for joining me this afternoon.
Thank you so much. And a quick reminder to our participants that you can use the Q&A function to ask questions to any of our schools here at any time during the presentations. Up next, we have the University of Mary Washington.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Sarah Limberg. I am the Associate Director for Admissions here at the University of Mary Washington. I'm super excited to be here with you guys tonight and tell you a little bit more about our university, which is located in Fredericksburg, Virginia. We are about 50 miles south of Washington, D.C. and 50 miles north of Richmond, Virginia. So while you have access to our state's capital and our nation's capital, you have a nice suburban park-like campus full of trees and green here in suburban Fredericksburg. Beautiful campus that's about a mile from the Rappahannock River, not far from the mountains if you prefer to hike, and about an hour and a half, 2 hours from the beach, depending on if you want to be closer to the beach. So we have a little bit of it all here in Fredericksburg. We are a smaller institution and we focus on the liberal arts and sciences. We have about 4,100 undergraduate students at our institution. Our focus is on undergrads. While we do have graduate level programs, the emphasis and why our faculty like to be here is to be here for our undergraduate students. So we have a great location with easy access, internships and job opportunities. Our largest alumni network is actually in the Washington, D.C. area, and easy access by public transportation to get up there for weekday internships during the academic year. You don't have to wait till the summer to be able to do that. So what can you expect in the classroom at Mary Washington? We have a small student to faculty ratio. Our average class size is about 19. Now that doesn't mean our classes don't get a little bit larger than that. They do, but we don't have any classes that really exceed 60 to 70. There are 3 lecture halls across campus that actually seat 100 or more students, but they're usually used for events, performances, guest lectures, things like that, as opposed to an actual day-to-day lecture or class or discussion. We definitely believe in learning in a lot of different ways. So you will find modalities not only in course lecture, but also through discussion-based classes. And we even start that your first semester, your freshman year, with a class capped at 15 students. And those classes that all first-year students take in that freshman year have really interesting topics. So everybody will take a FSEM, as we call it, and you could be taking something like cryptology, or so you want to be a teacher, or science and technology, because we can, should we? Disney's America is another one of those. And that class is really to introduce you a little bit more to our institution. We have over 90 majors, minors, and programs for students to choose from. Our largest and most popular programs are going to be business administration, biology, psychology, computer science, and communication and digital studies. We were established as a school for education, so educating educators is truly at our heart. And we just reopened a brand new building for our College of Education, a renovation to actually where I ate all of my meals here at Mary Washington. It now serves as the home to the College of Ed. So super excited to show that and share that with students as they come to campus as well. I mentioned before that our faculty are really here to teach, and we are focused on the undergraduates, which means the undergraduate students are the ones that are doing research with us. And we reserved last year about $750,000 to be able to facilitate undergraduate research for our students. But it's not all about academics here at Mary Washington. We want you to have fun as well. So there are a lot of opportunities to get involved. We are Division III for our varsity athletics. We are a part of the Coast to Coast Athletic Conference, with the exception of our men's and women's swimming team, which is a part of the Met, which is an all swimming conference of Division I, Division II, and Division III schools. I am happy to report, and again, as an alum and previous one at Mary Washington, that our women's team in our first year in the Metropolitan Conference, we actually won the conference championship just this past week. So our sports are competitive. We have 19 varsity sports for students to choose from. If that's something of interest for you. If you would prefer to maybe do club sports or intramural sports, those are absolutely options for you. We want you to have your niche outside of the classroom. So there are over 150 clubs and organizations for students to get involved in. Traditional events like Devil Goat Day, as well, which is like a carnival on campus, as well as opportunities for service and leadership and engagement with our local community, which is also really important to us as well. We'll have about 1/3 of our students study abroad, and we're ecstatic to actually have spring break next week and be able to offer faculty-led programs for the first time in 2 years. So COVID isn't keeping us down anymore. We are actually having students that will go to the Galapagos Islands, as well as a trip to London. So there are 2 spring break trips that are happening this coming week. So we're excited to get our students back out there. So no matter what your interests are outside the classroom, you'll find your niche at Mary Washington. And really what you'll find here is a welcoming community that really celebrates students as they come and who they are. So you will find that as well. What can you expect in terms of the admissions process and some contact information for us? We do take a holistic review in the application process. We are a member of the Common Application. We also have our own UMW app as well. So either works for us. We are completely test optional and have been test optional. This is actually our 8th cycle as a test optional institution. So SAT and ACT scores truly are optional with us. All students are still reviewed for merit-based scholarships. Just for being an out-of-state student from Florida, you will receive a $4,000 out-of-state student grant in addition to your merit-based scholarships, which range between $1,000 and $9,000 per year. Students that apply with test scores or without test scores are reviewed for those merit-based scholarships too. We definitely have multiple filing dates, early decision, early action, and regular decision for you to choose from. Contact information is on the screen for you. I strongly encourage you to follow us on social media. You'll get to see some fun things happening within the admissions office if you follow us on Instagram. Thanks.
Thank you so much. Up next, we have Birmingham-Southern College.
Yes, hello, let me share my screen. And I'm gonna assume everybody can see that. Hi everyone, my name is Kendra. I am your admission counselor here at Birmingham-Southern College. Excited to chat to you a little bit about who we are and what we're able to provide for you as our students. Birmingham-Southern College, we are a small liberal arts school located in Birmingham, Alabama. Birmingham is the capital of Alabama. And really is a growing city. We have multiple Fortune 500 companies located in the Birmingham area. And as you can see from this photo, we are about 5 minutes away from downtown Birmingham. So our location makes us really great. Got a couple statistics up here for you. One of those is that we are a unique school in that we are one of the 40 colleges that change lives. If anyone is familiar with this publication, it was a book written by a former New York Times editor who went and traveled the entire country and found 40 colleges that give really transformational educational experiences. He wrote them down in a book and really, put us on that elite list. So we're really honored to be a part of that. If you want a college to change your life, BSC is certainly the place for you. A couple other statistics, but I want to emphasize that you're not a statistic when you're here at BSC. When you walk into a classroom of 16 students, you walk in with your professor knowing your name. They know if you're in class, and more importantly, they know if you're out of class. They know what you do, both in the classroom as well as outside the classroom. And that relationship is huge, especially when you start to think about that post 4-year opportunity. Whether it comes to a grad school application or a job search, that's the first person you're going to go towards when it comes to that recommendation letter. We are set up on a little bit different of an academic calendar here at BSC. We're what's referred to as a 4-1-4, meaning that you'll take 4 classes, both in the fall and the spring, and 1 class in January. We refer that as E-term. Some schools refer that as J-term for January term. We like to call it explorations term because we want you to get outside the classroom and explore. You'll take 2 E-terms during your time here at BSC, but most students take more. You could take a class here on campus. You could take a class that goes abroad, which are pictured here. You could do an internship. You could do a community service project. You could do a research experience. We truly value in that outside the classroom experiences because, again, that's what's going to help set you apart when it comes to that post 4-year opportunity. Some example classes that have been offered this past year during E-term. A couple of students that I work with took an ancient witchcraft class, or some students took philosophy and martial arts, where they learned about philosophy of martial arts. A couple of example classes that have gone abroad. You could do biology in the Galapagos. You could teach English in Uganda. You could do business in Berlin. Really, the possibilities are endless. And again, it's all out there to kind of get you outside of your comfort zone and really explore and try new things to make you that well-rounded student. Application process, we're pretty easy. We are on a couple different applications. We're on the Common App. We have our own BSC online application, as well as we are part of the Coalition application as well. We have no preference of which one you choose. They come to us the exact same way, so whatever is easier for you. You can apply with your test scores or without your test scores. BSC has been test optional since 2016. We believe, if the test scores don't reflect who you are, don't send them in. A couple of requirements: if you choose to apply with your test scores, we'll take your transcript, your ACT, SAT test scores. If you choose to apply without your test scores, in lieu of those test scores, we'll ask for an essay and or personal statement. Financial aid and scholarships. This is our direct cost of tuition, direct cost of attendance for next academic school year. A couple of things to note: that is a sticker price. All students, when they apply to BSC, are eligible from either $5,000 all the way up to $11,000 in merit-based scholarships. That's automatically. You don't have to separately apply for those. We also have additional scholarships that you can apply for, as well as make sure you go ahead and fill out the FAFSA, the free application for federal student aid. That's what we use to determine financial aid packages, which comes in the form of grants, loans, and work study there. I know that's a serious investment, even though that is a sticker price and it will get alleviated. I know that's a investment for families, and so I always like to talk about the investment that we make in you. We are in the top 10 colleges that lead to graduate school, top 20 best value schools in the entire United States, top 100 colleges for return on investment. And the one that sticks out to me the most is our graduates go on to receive a third higher than the national average for recent salary graduates. So again, I know that you're going to make a serious investment in us. We're going to make a very serious investment in you. Our graduates go on to do some pretty cool and amazing things, and they really attribute that to that transformational educational experience that they receive during their time here at BSC here on the hilltop. some contact information. Again, I am your admission counselor, so I am here for it all. I'm here for the admission questions. I'm here for the financial aid questions. I'm here for what to bring to college, or more importantly, what not to bring to college. Please don't ever hesitate to reach out to me or reach out to the Office of Admissions. And I hope to see you here on the Hilltop soon.
Thank you so much. A reminder to all of our participants to use that Q&A function to ask questions of our institutions here at any time. Up next, we have Cabot University.
Thank you, Jenny, and hello, everybody. My name is Danette Anderson, and I am here to tell you about a possibility that many of you may have not thought about, which is the possibility of studying in Rome. Can you see my screen, Jenny? Yes? I
cannot see your screen.
I am so sorry. I thought I was sharing my screen. Let me share my desktop.
There we go.
Apologies. And here we go. So we're talking about, my name is Danette Anderson, and I represent Cabot University in Rome, Italy. I don't know, but many of you, if you're aware that there are 36 American universities abroad, and they're accredited, and talking about transformational schools, global schools, and personal schools. Cabot is a small liberal arts university located between the Colosseum and the Vatican in Rome. I don't know if anybody has been to Rome, but if you go onto Google Maps, you can Google it and you can see it's in the urban center of Rome. We're accredited by the Middle States Commission, which means that it's an American university, all classes are in English, and you get a US degree. We have 1,300 students from 70 countries. We have small classes, and our professors also know you by name. We do a lot of on-site classes. So often one class is writing the Eternal City. You take an English composition class on Rome, and you maybe go to the Colosseum and sit by the Colosseum and write about it. I mean, how cool is that? Our professors, our students are all international, our staff. Over 80% of our students receive financial aid, and we have 3 campuses. I'll show you photographs of our campuses. We have a studio art facility and fully furnished housing options, so home away from home. Why study in Rome? Well, Rome is a major European capital, and we have many embassies. And I don't know if you're aware, but the World Food Program is in Rome. The Food and Agricultural Organization is in Rome. We have many fashion houses in Rome, and naturally our students do get internships in many of these fascinating organizations. Rome is a living museum. You trip over artwork. I don't know if 80% of the world's art heritage is in Italy. When you're in Rome, classes are Monday to Thursday, so you have 3 days to explore Italy and to explore all of Europe. Many of our students come to Cabot and travel the world. And then, of course, Italian culture does permeate every aspect of Italian life. Academics, here's just some pictures of Rome and of Cabot University. You will be assigned an advisor, so you're not on your own. You have somebody who does speak English, who's one of our professors. We do have an interdisciplinary learning. Being a liberal arts university, we emphasize discussion, creative thinking. And what I always say is, in a classroom of 15 people, you're going to be in a classroom with Americans, Italians, Russians, I don't know, Venezuelans, Moroccans. And believe me, when you're studying a case study or having a discussion, it's quite a lively discussion and a life-changing discussion, because you really do see other people's point of view. We have a lot of student support with language resource centers, math tutoring, writing centers. Here are 14 minors. They're not many, but as I say, we go into great depth in all of them. We will be adding one on studio art and art and design very shortly. And our most popular majors are in the area of business. We also have an Institute for Entrepreneurship, where you can actually go on site and do startups, work on startups with Italian organizations. Our second most popular is International Affairs and Political Science. And that's fascinating because we are so connected in the Mediterranean. And then, of course, we have the humanities and classical studies. I mean, art history in Rome is absolutely fabulous. as is Italian studies. And we have many majors in these, minors in these areas as well, plus others. We work with over 670 organizations in Rome, and even our American students get internships. So you don't need to speak Italian, and you can build your resume, your international resume, and make a network of friends and colleagues from all over the world. We have 3 career fairs per year where organizations come to us, and many of our students get internships. We have seminars, and at John Cabot, we want you to come into John Cabot, study hard, but definitely build your international resume just by being in Rome and also by partaking in internships that we have. Facilities, we have an urban campus. We have 3 classrooms, as I told you. This is the Tiber River you can see on the map. We have a Tiber Cafe. We have fitness center, computer lab. So your whole life will be within probably 2 square miles. Here's some pictures of the TThe campus, which is our newest campus in Rome. The Guarini campus, which is an old convent. Our Tiber campus, we have our cafe here in the Tiber campus. Largo dei Fiorentini art facilities, because as I said, we will be having a new art division at John Cabot. Our housing, we have housing that is walking distance to the university with 24/7 security and all the amenities. Health and well-being, you can read. We have doctors on campus, mindfulness and compassionate mind training, student clubs and organizations, and I'm going to have to go a bit faster here. Cultural programs and trips, I could tell you more, but you can go on to our social media, our community service. We are on the common application. We are test optional. We need your transcripts. We have your essays. We give you an interview. And if you're a non-English speaker, many of our students are proof of English. Contact us. I have a QR code, and also here's a map of Rome, or you can write to admissions. And I believe that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Up next, we have George Washington University.
Thanks, Jenny. Danette's got me wanting to study in a convent now, but we're gonna head back stateside. My name is Andrea Frangi, and I'm one of the regional directors of admission at the George Washington University, located in the heart of our nation's capital. Contrary to what you might see in this photo, I promise we're not going to make you wear red, white, and blue every day. This was a photographer's attempt at, I think, being cute. So just to give you a quick overview of who we are, GW is a mid-sized private research university. We have just under 11,000 undergraduate students at GW. Students are coming from all 50 states, and then of course the district. We have student representation from over 130 countries on our campus. About 12% of our student population identifies as international students. And even though we are this mid-sized campus, this mid-sized school experience, our average class size is 29, and over half of our classes have fewer than 20 students in them. So you are going to have the opportunity during your first and second year to have some larger classes with maybe 60 students, 100 students in them. But as you progress into your major, your classes are going to get smaller. You're going to have a lot more opportunity for that debate, dialogue, and conversation that's so important. So where are we located? We are right in the heart of downtown Washington, D.C., 4 blocks away from the White House, across the street from the IMF and the World Bank. We are very much in the heart of our nation's capital, and that really informs our students' experience at GW. We're a little bit unique in that we have 2 campuses. Our main campus is in the Foggy Bottom neighborhood of Washington, D.C. That's where the vast majority of our students are living, and we do have a 3-year residential requirement, so you will be living with us through your junior year. That Foggy Bottom campus is also where the majority of classes take place. That is where the Smith Center is, where our basketball teams play. We are a Division I athletic school, and it's really the hub or the center of the GW experience. 3 miles away by a quick shuttle bus, which GW provides on a 24-hour service loop, you'll find our Mount Vernon campus. The Mount Vernon campus is beautiful. It is in a much more residential part of the city, and it's where about 1/3 of our first-year students live. So many of the students who are on the Mount Vernon campus are participating in one of our special programs, like our University Honors Program, one of our women's leadership programs, Civic House, or Politics and Values, which are smaller living and learning communities. Those are typically just a 1-year residential experience, and then your sophomore and junior year, you would move on to Foggy Bottom. If you're looking at this on a phone, my apologies. This is the slide of tiny text, but you're welcome to screenshot it. You're essentially going to be seeing our over 75 majors listed here. When you apply to GW using the common application, and we'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute, you're gonna indicate which of our 7 schools or colleges you'd like to be a part of. You're not going to have to stick with that for the 4 years that you're with us, I promise. I think sometimes the idea of making that kind of a commitment on an application can be a little bit intimidating, but know that even though we're willing to admit you into the School of Engineering or the School of Business, if that's what you want to do at this moment, there are pathways for you to be able to change schools and change your major once you're a student at GW. Student life, obviously a huge part of our students' experience. We have over 500 clubs and student organizations on campus, many of which are academic focused. So if you're looking for the Society of Black Engineers, or you are looking for a group of other journalism majors, those are available to you. We also have more frivolous, like Humans versus Zombies, student organizations as well. And then, as I mentioned before, we're a Division I athletic school with many recreational sport opportunities and clubs as well. Couple things that I just want to highlight here. The Center for Career Services oversees the typically 15,000 internship opportunities that we're able to offer to our undergraduate students on a yearly basis. So many of our students are coming to GW. They want that experiential opportunity, whether that's doing hands-on research, which about 1/4 of our undergraduate students participate in, doing an internship, which over 70% of our undergraduate students will do at least one of. That idea of really building the resume, building your network, getting that experience is such an important part of your undergraduate experience. And GW is really focused on making sure that that's something that you can participate in if you want to. Quick overview of our application process. We are common application exclusive. That is the only application that we accept at GW. And we've been test optional since 2015. So know that if you've had any problems taking the SAT or accessing the ACT, you don't have to worry about submitting test scores for your GW application. We offer early decision, which is a binding application program at GW, which has a November 1 application deadline. ED2 and regular decision have a January 5th application deadline, and then transfer information is up here as well. We do a holistic review for admission, so we're going to be looking at your academics, common application, personal statement, letters of recommendation, extracurricular activities, whatever they might have looked like during COVID. And then also if you're going to be applying to one of those special programs, many of which I mentioned are focused on the Mount Vernon campus for the first year, this is what that part of the application will look like. My contact information is here. Feel free to screenshot this. If you'd like to reach out, I'm happy to be available. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And a last reminder to use that Q&A function to ask questions of our presenters here at any time. And last but not least, we have DePaul University.
Thanks so much. And thank you everyone for sticking with us tonight and being part of our event. I'm going to click on my slides real quickly. There we go. My name is Jacqueline Bauer, and I am the Regional Director for Southeast Recruiting for DePaul University. And I am actually based in Florida, but my university is based in Indiana. So we are in a town called Greencastle. You can see here, we're a college town, about 45 minutes from Indianapolis, with very traditional college architecture. And we're very proud of our campus. We think it's beautiful. So a little bit about who we are. We're just under 2,000 students. Well, we never get larger than 2,000 because our professors really like to have the opportunity to have small classes, one-on-one experiences with students, lots of mentorship. So we keep our number a little bit under 2,000. We have a College of Liberal Arts, and we also have a School of Music. I'll talk a little bit about majors in my next slide, but I wanted to let you know that even though we're small, we have every type of student you could imagine on campus, from first-generation students who are the first in their family to go to college to legacy students who are following the footsteps of a family member coming to DePaul. We have students from 38 different states, and Florida is well represented, so well that they actually put an employee in Florida, which is me. So you'll have a lot of Floridians if you decide to come to DePaul. 35 different countries are represented on campus. And as you can see, a lot of different nationalities and religions too. So within our College of Liberal Arts, we have 49 majors and 56 minors. Some of the more common ones or more popular ones are economics and communications, anything on a pre-law track or a pre-med track. We're big in the sciences because we offer a lot of research opportunities. So biochem, chemistry, biology, psychology, global health is something we're seeing a big peak in majors that students are interested in. And we also have political science and kinesiology, plus a lot more. Within our School of Music, we have 4 different degree tracks that focus on both performance and education. There's also an opportunity to do a 5-year joint degree. So you'll be earning actually 2 degrees in music and liberal arts. So that's always a nice option for students that love music, but also want to explore different areas. Something we're proud of on campus is access. I mentioned we're small. You'll have a lot of one-on-one with professors and advisors. Even from the day before you step foot on campus as a first-year student, you'll be working with advisors once you decide to enroll at DePaul to kind of shape your first year. There's lots of opportunities on campus. Our classes are many times around a table and not lecture classes. So you'll have a lot of hands-on research internships outside the classroom experiences, and a lot of mentoring. You'll have an upperclassman mentor when you come to DePaul as a first-year student, and you'll also have alumni mentors when you're getting ready to graduate. You'll develop great leadership skills at DePaul. You develop these skills by having great relationships with the alumni, upperclassmen mentors and professors, but also through clubs. We have about 100 clubs, everything from Greek life to athletics to student organizations, fun clubs, serious clubs, and most of our students are involved in 4 or 5 different clubs. It's kind of how you find your place on campus and your friend group to hang out with on the weekends. I mentioned we have a good number of international students. We like to think of ourselves as a campus that's very global focused. Besides having international students, we also send a lot of students on study abroad. And I think someone mentioned that they're so happy that COVID is not really impacting us too much anymore. At DePaul, too, we're able to start our study abroad programs again, which makes us so happy because we're a top 10 study abroad college. We have more than 100 approved programs. And if you don't want to go abroad, no worries, because we bring the globe to DePaul. We bring 2 high-profile global guest speakers to campus a year, everything from politicians that are in the spotlight to performers to people out there in the civic realm. This is a little bit about what we look for in applicants. So our mascot is a tiger, and we made a tiger paw with some of the qualities that make a successful DePaul tiger. Students that are driven, ambitious, smart, socially involved, and students that want to be busy and motivated during their college careers. And we look for that in the application process. So here we are on the Common App. We are test optional. We do look at your transcript and your curriculum. We look at your letters of recommendation and your activities, and we try to see if there's something that you might bring to campus that would make DePaul an even better place. We also love to see affinity, and that doesn't mean that you have to travel all the way to Indiana. You could just connect with me. And coming to something like this is also showing that you have an interest in DePaul. And here we go. One slide too fast. This is my contact information. Please be in touch with me. I'm here in Florida. I actually live in Central Florida. So I am willing to connect with you, meet up at a coffee house or do a Zoom meeting, and happy to help you navigate through the application process. Once again, thanks so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you. Thank you to all of our schools here today for giving us more information about your lovely institutions. So now we have some time for Q&A. So, all right, everyone's back on the screen. Perfect. Our first question for the evening is, what advice would you give someone going through the college search process? And we'll go in the same order, starting with the Catholic University of America.
So I would like to say that you should be open-minded when you look at colleges. Look for colleges that you might not have heard before. Check small, large city, college towns, even international colleges. And when you go to a college fair, talk to everyone, because you're going to learn something new by talking to the admission counselor there. And the last thing, take advantage of your backyard. Take it, go see colleges. See, you have a few colleges around Central Florida. So that will give you a better idea of what you're looking for in a college.
One of my big suggestions for students is find a way to keep yourself organized. So there are a lot of different types of colleges and universities out there. And while we all have some similarities, we're all different at the same time. So we're going to have different application filing dates. We're going to have different requirements of what you need to provide. We're going to have you apply in different ways, the Common App, our own app, the coalition application. So we don't do it to try and confuse you, but we all have our ways of trying to make it accessible for students. So I encourage you to keep a spreadsheet as probably the most efficient way to do it, but of each of the different schools you're looking at, notes about them, how big they are, as well as what type of application they accept, what type of filing dates do they offer, early decision, early action, regular decision, what are those dates? What do you need to complete your application? Do they require an essay, letters of recommendation, everything like that? It'll help you stay organized because while we all offer early action and early decision and regular decision in various different ways, they all have different filing dates. So keep yourself organized.
Great advice. My biggest advice for the college search process is to visit. And when you visit, picture yourself walking in and picturing yourself living a day in the life of a student. Can you see yourself living in the resident halls? Can you see yourself eating lunch in the cafeteria? Can you see yourself having, sitting in a class, really kind of picturing yourself, because that's going to help you figure out what place is going to be your new home. And yeah, visit.
Gosh, that's a lot of great advice. So you visit, you can be organized. My advice would be to, first of all, just don't procrastinate. That would be my number one thing to say. And you're looking for your best friend. You're looking for a college fit. You're looking to fall in love with a college because you're going to be there for 4 years. So do as much research as you can. Try to meet current students, of course, visit, and I would say go with your gut. It's really an emotional feeling, and you'll know when you find the right college, but you can't do it without the proper research and putting the proper amount of time in it.
I would suggest something a little bit different, which is that you give yourself some grace. This will be the first time in your life that you apply to college. And I think there can be a lot of pressure put onto this process. There can be a lot of sort of high stakes thinking about this, like, if I don't get into the right college, my life is ruined. That's not true. There are thousands of great schools out there, and give yourself some grace in this process, and also be sure to give some grace to the adults in your life, whether it's your college counselor, your parents, guardians who are walking with you through this process. It's possible that you might make mistakes. And that's okay. We don't expect perfection. Again, you've never done this before, but just make sure that you're communicating with the universities that you're applying to, that you're utilizing the resources that you have available to you at your schools, in your community, in your family, and just be sure that you know where you're getting your information from. So know your sources and give yourself a little bit of grace.
The bad thing about going last is everyone gave such great advice. I was going to suggest, don't stress out, similar to giving yourself a little bit of a breath, and start early. chances are that we have a lot of students that are juniors or younger in this watching this session. So starting early will help you take all the advice that my colleagues just gave you, because you'll feel like you're organized and you got an essay concept in mind and you're ahead of the track. And once you get your first admissions rolling in, it's just exciting after that. So it will set you up for a good experience.
Thank you so much, everyone. That is fantastic advice. And thank you all for joining us tonight. When you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 5-question survey. So we'd appreciate any feedback that you can provide. We encourage you to check back to the schedule and sign up for more sessions that are happening tonight. You'll be able to find this session's recording as well as the other session recordings at strivescan.com/Central Florida. That's strivescan.com/Central Florida. Thank you very much. Have a great evening.